So is the Republican Party still made up of illustrious dunderheads, basically, the first question. In the 1940s, they were willing to sell out our country to Hitler in order to prevent Franklin Roosevelt from becoming president for a third term. Is the same thing happening, essentially? Now, some would say, you know, oh, yeah, they're selling out our country to Russia. I'm a little more skeptical of that, but I think that they're clearly selling out our country to the oligarchs within our country and the oligarchs around the world. Some of them are probably Russian oligarchs, certainly Chinese oligarchs and European oligarchs and South American oligarchs. And let's not forget the Saudi oligarchs. Billionaires around the world basically owning the Trump administration. So there's that. You know, what is this going to bring us in the next year when the Republican Party institutionally in 1940 essentially committed treason, saying we should not, you know, just let Hitler kill the Jews, just let Hitler take over Europe. It's not a big deal. He's an okay guy. He's a right-winger just like us, right? And now you've got the Republican Party, you know, kind of going down that same path of America first. No, we're not going to intervene in the world, and we're not going to, or maybe we are, but we're only going to do it in a way that trashes Muslims, really? By the way, Muslims for Progressive Values, mpv.org, a great organization. I was reminded of that over the weekend. So, a second question I wanted to put on the plate for conversation today. Which sounds better to you, a guaranteed basic income or a federal job guarantee? That's the headline that Eve Smith posted over at Naked Capitalism last week. And it's a reprint of an article by Howie Klein that was originally published over at Down with Tyranny. And it's a takeoff on a piece, a year-old piece in Jacobin magazine, Why We Need a Federal Job Guarantee. And basically there's, you know, like you've got raw at the beginning, you've got basically raw capitalism, an economic system where those with capital basically own the system. It's a neo-feudal system. It's a reinvention of a form of economics and politics that ruled Europe and Asia and South America, you know, for millennia. And this is the modern version of it. You know, just at-will employment, the right to work for less states, the employer has all the power, the employee has no power. So you've got that. That's kind of the starting point. And that's where we were, you know, when we started the Republic. And then unions rose and workers demanded rights and citizens demanded regulations to protect themselves from being poisoned by big companies or being, you know, robbed by big companies, et cetera. And then we went from a raw capitalism to regulated capitalism, which seems like a good first step. And now there's like 2 steps beyond that. What do you do when capitalism itself starts to fail? And at least in this context, the capitalism equals jobs formula. Because what is happening increasingly in this era of monopoly or oligopoly, you know, a small number of very large corporations owning everything from our media to our food supply to everything else, you know, we're seeing this extraordinary concentration of power. And with that, and they're using that power to reduce our wages, reduce our benefits, and you know, make us all poorer, basically, so that the 1% can get richer. And that's exactly what's been going on ever since the Reagan presidency kicked off this process. So what do you do about it? Well, there's a couple of solutions. One that has come out of Europe is the universal basic income. Everybody gets a certain amount of money every year, say $10,000, whether they work or not, no matter what they do. The problem with the UBI is that it is hard to understand and easy to attack. It doesn't make a good bumper sticker. So what they're recommending is that instead of doing the UBI, we do what Franklin Roosevelt did in the 1930s, which worked spectacularly well. It got us out of the Great Depression. And that was, you know, the way that he put it together was as long as the federal unemployment rate was above 25%, the federal government offered and guaranteed jobs to people. We did it through all these acronym agencies, the WPA, the Works Progress Administration, the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, on and on they went, right? There were all these organizations that Roosevelt created, or that were created as a result of the New Deal, that were basically government jobs. And so this is called a federal job guarantee, an FJG, federal job guarantee. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why a federal job guarantee would be a good thing. Number one, there would be fewer poor Americans. Why? Because the federal job would come with a reasonable wage, and it would become the new wage floor. Howie Klein is suggesting that the federal job guarantee should be jobs that pay at least $23,000 a year, rising to a median of $32,000 a year. Federal jobs could provide socially useful goods and services. We need to rebuild our roads. We need to take care of our national parks. Our infrastructure is in shambles. These would be good jobs. And it provides a social environment for people in the workplace. It provides a wage floor. It stabilizes our economy. What's not to like about that?